All right. I've had like zero prep time. Not that I prep very much for this anyway.
And say, let's be honest, Matt. How often does prep actually help?
Like I said. No, so and I figured you guys would probably want some say in what your next score would be.
Yeah. Okay, so also like spoiler alert, at the end of last session I almost started a war with Ulf, or like I rolled to take Ulf down a tier. But that would have started a war with him, and I didn't want to make that decision when it was just three of us, because that is like a huge
I mean, you
crew
kind of
divide.
already made that decision when you first started pissing him off.
Yeah,
Does
but
We
Ulf
all know that's where it's going.
does
where
Ulf
it's
have
going, but it didn't have to go like it doesn't have to go yet. Like we can like do other shit.
yeah, but does he have a large smuggling operation we could usurp?
He has some turf you could take. Some let's see, what do you guys have for turf? I mean, available turf.
There's luxury fins, fleet, and another turf. Looks like.
Is the something big is here for Pete Thulu?
Yes, that was Pete Thulu. I think did it just fill up the entire? Oh no, it went half, and then Desmond blew up the other half.
Yeah. So
Alternatively, we could try and work with Ulf to repair his relationship with us.
could.
I think at this
Oh,
point
screw that.
we just go all
Yeah.
the way and throw down.
Yeah, that's more what I would be interested in doing, but tossing it out there as an option.
I mean, at this stage of the game, we don't have much to lose, so
It's very true.
not like we lose much by actually going to war with someone.
Yeah, and we can
Um,
always throw Desmond to the dogs if everything goes to shit.
You might lose the lead on those guns. Is sort of
Oh,
the-
we're looking for guns?
no. There was
the
a
guns that. Oh shit! Yeah, you haven't. Okay. Yeah.
there was a session where there was some reconnaissance done to get to track down, I guess, a shipment of guns that Ulf was going to purchase from the billhooks.
A shipment of fine guns and finer shingles.
Yes, and there was also shingles somewhere in that mix. Where's Desmond? Is he here?
He doesn't want to play because we have enough players.
Really?
Yeah,
What a jerk
but he
thing.
had something else to do.
What a Canadian.
I'm gonna harass him just for a minute. Okay.
So did we catch Justin up, or should I do that?
All I know is that Pete Thulu happened.
Okay, so basically, me and Desmond followed Stone, who is one of Ulf's higher tiered men, to a warehouse where he was buying like blue coat grade guns, like low level blue coat grade gun rifles from Sydney, which is a girl's name, Blacklight, or not Blacklight, Lamplight guy. And we intercepted the runner who was carrying the money. Took the money, stole the kid because of reasons. And then since it was literally just me, Desmond, and Magpie, we decided to go do a little smuggling run. Pete Thulu happened. We killed a bunch of billhooks, but they don't know because it was out at sea, and they started it. Biddy got a little racist, and the guns are still potentially in that warehouse. We would have to follow that.
Okay.
I'd be down with taking the guns and trying to sell them.
Yeah, that sounds pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, that works for me.
Well, if we take those guns, that'll probably start the war. So it'll be
Okay.
nice. We might want to keep the guns.
Yeah, we'd have to. I mean, yeah, it would start it unless we were like uncharacteristically careful.
Yeah, so a point of clarification that I was able to discover is that in the default setting, long arms are sort of illegal, so these would be highly illegal.
Yeah, I have
Weapon.
forged papers for mine. Though.
Yes, you have forged papers for yours, or you don't have a military background, do you?
Not that Duskfall would respect.
Right. Okay. So.
Unless they really care about Tycheros.
Right. Well, I mean, Tycheros is part of the Imperium, so. Okay. So, what's the first item for you guys to do? What do you're going after the guns, or are you starting a war, or both?
Guns,
Going
which
after
will
the-
probably.
yeah.
Yeah, guns first.
Yeah. Because then we can maybe give them to somebody who can help us in that war.
Oh yeah. On that note, we don't know this for sure, but hey Matt, because I wasn't here when I don't think. What's the leader of the Lamp Blacks that we talked to?
Bazos Baz?
Bazos Baz. We don't think that Bazos Baz knows that Sydney is dealing guns to Ulf,
Okay.
because it was very much like on the down low. So we were talking maybe we I mean, if the war does happen and we can expose that end and be like, hey, here's these guns, maybe they would be willing to back us up a bit more.
Yeah. We've already done them a solid before, haven't we? Right? Like we have positive reputation with the
Yeah.
Red Blacks.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I also tossed him a coin for our after we did our whorehouse job. So
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think we try to staying good with them. And,
yeah.
Is there any way we could go about getting some forged paperwork to go with the guns if we're going to try and actually sell them, or are we going to try and hold on to them to use ourselves?
I mean, we could probably give some to Baz and some to sell. I don't know, but I think it would.
I would like to point out, Baz will probably consider them his guns in the first place.
Yeah, it's true.
So there is that issue.
Yeah. I mean, we actually kind of need to track them down still because we don't know if they're still in the warehouse. The payment would be a day late at this point. Although I don't know where the Lamp Blacks would really move.
Probably a few
crates of
days
guns.
late, actually,
Oh. Okay.
because you did go on that other score since then.
Yeah.
Oh, and
I
there's
mean,
a
worst comes-
there's a an orphan boy in your lair.
Yeah. James stole a kid. Wait, James, was it you or was it Magpie who stole
That
the kid?
was well. Magpie wanted to keep him. I just couldn't get him off of me.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. We found out that like the orphans that they're raising at the orphanage are fucking ninjas. So
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
yeah, he went toe to toe with James. So
Good to know.
yeah,
Yeah, it was a lot of bad rolls.
yeah, like a 13-year-old kid.
Well,
That's
And James like essentially chloroformed him finally.
that one
yeah, I
is
gave
tied
some
with
mercury poisoning.
that one is tied with the seafaring adventure for my favorite session.
Dude, seriously, like, you guys are smugglers. You could do a smuggling job. Okay, Matt. Fucking demon.
If you haven't seen the Hideout handout, that's actually a pretty good one,
That's
which is sort of represents what I think we're all
Oh, cool.
agreeing is the Hideout.
Yes.
nice.
Oh, and I guess so-
And there's a couple new district handouts if you haven't seen those.
Yeah, I just noticed those.
I'm sort of drip feeding those to you because I don't want to overwhelm you guys with lore.
Okay, these are just like straight the pages from the book, right?
Yep.
Okay, I've seen these before. I just haven't really gone.
All right.
All right, so we should probably try to track down the account, huh?
Yeah, I think we should sell them to get some liquid assets, and we can always use that to hire some muscle to help us take down Ulf. Or
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so that's the first move is to find the guns. It sounds like.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you guys going about doing that?
I mean, I found them originally because Stone was like waltzing through our territory. If I kind of like hang out in the same area, do I see him like taking the same path or anything?
Yeah, you've got a pretty good clue about Stone's sort of regular routine these days.
So, is Stone dead, or did you just mug him and take the money?
No, Stone wasn't the guy. Like they sent an orphan to be the runner. We took the orphan and the money.
Okay.
But Stone doesn't. I mean, Stone probably assumes it was us, but there wasn't any proof that it was us.
Right. And is the warehouse with the guns in our turf? Did we?
It was right over the edge, right, Matt? Like right over the edge of where our territory ends and the Lampblack's like actual stuff begins.
Um,
If I remember correctly.
so what was the question?
Where is the warehouse with the guns? Like, where was it?
It's in the dock.
relation to like our turf.
Oh, it's over by the docks, so it's in a different district.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Yeah, your hunting grounds and your lair are firmly in Crow's Foot. So,
Okay, so yeah, it's in the docks.
definitely considered Bill Hook's territory.
Oh, Bill. Oh, that's odd.
No, not
Oh,
Bill
so
Hook.
it's not the Lampblack scums that are. being-
Not Bill Hook's. Sorry. Yes,
Lampblack's.
Lampblack's. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Gotcha.
But the Bill Hooks also do own a chunk of the docks.
Yes, just not that guy from last session. He's dead as fuck, as they say.
So the guns originally were dropped in a neutral warehouse or one that the Lampblacks own?
We just found them in control of the Lampblacks at the warehouse. They were negotiating a deal, and then, like I said, we intercepted the runner, but then went to try and secure some smuggling contraband and contacts. That went to shit real fast, and then here we are.
Why were the guns on the roof in the first place?
They weren't
Didn't you find them in a crate in the roof?
No,
No.
I was on the roof looking into a warehouse. Like
Okay.
through like I don't know, I imagine like a skylight or like those big windows that like Batman smashes through in the animated cartoons all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a slate slate shingle that fell off the roof.
Yeah, that Desmond
That
has
doesn't-
collected.
That's
Well,
because it was
shattered.
his, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was his. Excuse me, this is mine. Fuck.
So,
Yeah, so I mean, I guess, I would first see if Stone keeps going that way, and like if he's, stereotypically like villain mumbling to himself, like, detailing his plan. But I would go and kind of try and check back and see if there's still activity at the warehouse.
could I roll and see if anybody I know has seen stuff being moved from the warehouse, like other than what's supposed to be kept there?
Well, let's figure out one action at a time. So,
Okay.
but yes, you would be able to do something like that. So, all right, we've got Harrier who wants to.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're trying to do what?
I would say hunt because I'm trying to hunt either Stone down or the activity that's going on at the.
Yeah, but you already know where Stone is most of the time.
Okay.
So would that be more of a
Survey, probably.
That would probably
or a
make more
prowl,
sense.
possibly?
I can do either. So.
Can I assist him?
Sure.
Yeah. Do you want to assist or do you want to come with and just have it be a group action?
Well, I mean, he'd have to be there to assist. So.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I'll come with.
So I roll a bonus die, right? That's what assisting is.
Yep, and he takes a stress.
5.
Okay.
Oh, Matt, that was my other question. Is there any outcome difference between a 4 and a 5, or are they considered the exact same outcome?
They're the same outcome.
Okay.
1 through 3 are all the same outcome, really.
Yeah. I didn't know if there was like within that like you fail if there was like levels or.
No, 1 through 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, but I didn't know if like 1 3 is you fail. I didn't know if like 3 was you fail less than a 1 but still
Oh,
fail.
heck
Yeah.
no. Nope.
No, there's 3 gradations.
Okay. So I got a 5.
Yep.
I wanted to give you an extra set of eyes so we could not be quite as obvious in following him.
Yeah. So as you're sort of surveying the area, what's a good consequence for this failed survey?
I could bump into Phoebe again. She's just like, what the actual fuck are you doing? Like,
um,
Yeah,
Quick.
I think he probably runs into somebody and
I
might
think
get
maybe
noticed.
this is more of a lamp black situation.
yeah, I was gonna say.
You're able to discern that that the guns are indeed in the same warehouse, but a couple of them spot you, and they're like, "What are you doing way the hell out here?"
Some of the ones that are at the warehouse are just some lampblacks catch me sneaking around.
Some of the ones that are at the warehouse,
Okay.
and so we'll pick the lamp black suspicion clock for 2.
Okay. I basically just tell him that we personally have been having some trouble with Ulf, and I saw Stone walking through, and I was just making sure that he got through our territory unmolested. Wink.
Are you trying to resist the ticks of the clock, or you just
Explain to me how resisting works.
so you roll a given attribute, and then so in that case, it sounded like you were trying to use resolve to resist that, and then you take 6 minus your roll for in stress, but the effect is lessened or negated. Hang on. Yep.
What do you guys think? Do you think 2 ticks really matters on the clock?
Nah.
For lamplight suspicion?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really want to end up throwing down with the lamplights on this one.
They like you
that's
so
true.
far.
Double war.
They like
I mean, like, their suspicion in this case is just that, like, we're up to something, and if these are Sydney's lampblacks, then, like, they may not be in great with Bazos, because
True.
we don't think that Baz knows what Sydney's doing. Because there wouldn't be any reason for them to be so like, if Baz runs the territory, they wouldn't need to be as, like, I mean, you need to be discreet when you're dealing with like illegal guns, but like not to the like this definitely to me at least seemed like they were trying to hide it from somebody other than just the authorities.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they could just be trying to hide it from other factions, but it also, if you think there's a division there, maybe it's a rift you could exploit later on.
Yeah, no, believe me, Matt, I know something about casually throwing blame at people and starting wars. So
Okay. So you've determined the guns are there.
Did I hear anything about plans to move them, or like if Sydney's pissed that the money's like 2 days late?
You see some animated conversation from afar, but it's hard to infer what they're talking about.
Okay.
Doesn't look like anyone's too upset, but there could be some veiled threats going on or something.
Yeah. Okay. I guess me and Cricket head back then to just let Griffin and Thorn know that we know where the guns are, but I wasn't able to hear any.
Could I ask a question? Did we see about how well guarded the warehouse was? How much activity there was going on there?
It's a sizable presence. You're not sure how many of the dock workers are lampblacks, or on their payroll. How many of them would move to would run away or move to
Engage.
defend the weapons, but they know this is worth a pretty penny, so it might be a bit of a throwdown if push comes to shove.
Perhaps a distraction might be in order then.
only we had our Leviathan nuke with us.
If only you had a party with 2 spiders in it.
I'd like to point out, if we're looking for distractions, the Lampblacks are currently at war with the Red Sashes. Is that war still going on?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, last time we helped the Lampblacks, but maybe the Red Sashes want to throw down in exchange for a cut of the guns.
If they led an assault or something on one of their other holdings, I'm sure they'd pull people away from the guns to try and deal with that.
Yeah. We could also try and just, I mean, it's a little bit, I don't know if it's a riskier, it's risky in a different way to try and, let Baz know what's going on. He might toss us some guys to, beat Sydney or make an example of Sydney. I highly doubt that a gang boss would appreciate somebody, skimming money off the side.
But would he give you the guns after that?
Is that I'd be
I mean,
worried that he just would want to keep the guns for himself. Because they
Sure.
are.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't tell him how many guns are there.
If they're his guns, he should know how many guns are there.
Then we lie about how many are there. Keep
My main concern, or I guess Harry's main concern, just looking at this more, is that Ulf doesn't get the guns. Like, if we get the guns, fucking sick. But, main concern is that Ulf's men aren't armed to the teeth, since...
Yeah, since we're about to throw down.
Yeah. So, even if worst case scenario, Baz is well, these are still my guns. He does kind of owe us a solid for, 1, getting him the guns that are quote unquote his, 2, exposing Sydney for, being a traitor-ish. So I think it kind of comes down to favor versus influence, or influence versus money.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I didn't get into this business to make friends.
Yeah, I'm trying to make money.
Yeah, I'm kind of here for money.
Can I say we do what we can to keep our hands on the guns and,
Zach, lie to him about how many guns there are. He gets to keep some of the ones that he thinks are there.
Yeah. I doubt that we give Sydney a chance to really defend or, defend himself to Baz or let him know how many guns are there.
And any of the people he sends with could just, die in the crossfire.
So it sounds like
Or-
you're
yeah.
trying to sort of scheme this division, if it exists, into an operation to steal some of the guns and eliminate Sydney.
Yeah, and make sure that they don't get to Ulf.
So you're not involving the Red Sashes in this plan?
No.
Yeah. I
That-
think so.
That said, we currently have a lot of heat on us already, and dropping a lot of bodies is probably gonna cut a lot out on us.
We could.
It
So
takes-
far,
What it would do is it would tick a wanted level, which is not and then clear your heat if you max out your heat. And that's not necessarily the worst thing.
sorry. I don't mean. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was gonna say our modus operandi so far has been clusterfuck the situation and work from there. So, if we really want to avoid heat, and we're worried about the men that Baz sends with us having to die in the crossfire, we could always create a crossfire and involve the Red Sashes. I doubt that much heat is going to get kicked back onto us if it's Lamp Black versus Red Sash.
So I want to give you guys time to plan and prepare, which is a little contrary to how this game is supposed to run. But I'm doing that because you have 2 spiders in your party, and I want to give you guys time to kind of brainstorm and orchestrate things a little bit beforehand. But it sounds like, are you planning on an assault? Is that where you're
I
going
think.
with this?
Yeah.
Do we want to do that? I mean,
Yes.
I'd rather keep
I
things a
would
bit
love to.
quieter.
I would love to not be quiet at all.
because I think we maybe want to avoid another clusterfuck.
I think maybe everyone in this gang is contrary to what I like to do.
So there's I mean, a score can be a strictly social score. Like, so if you want to negotiate, bargain, and persuade your way to these guns,
I lock eyes with the voice in the sky that says this, and then look immediately at Griffin and say, "Can it though?"
It cannot.
That's the way I would rather do this when we've already got this much heat on us.
Well, I mean,
I
regardless.
mean, if we get a wanted level, we could always just send Angel to jail.
I mean, deception is also a viable, um, you know, type of plan.
Well, I mean, I think what happens is that no matter what kind of plan we make, deception, social assault, we need to give Griffin something to punch, so that.
What if
I mean, if you don't give me something to punch, then I'm just gonna
You're
start
gonna find
finding the
something.
youngest kids.
We've got an orphan
Back
locked
them
up
up.
just
you do
over
have an
there.
orphan that you could go home and beat, just to make yourself feel better.
I mean, if we cause some kind of distraction, presumably not all of the guards are going to be away from the guns, but there'll be less of them. So still people to punch, just less of a potential clusterfuck.
Griffin, what if we make this a little bit less kickback on us, but we let you punch Sid? We give you Sydney. You have full dibs on Sydney. Does that sound good?
I like it.
I mean, what if we just offer to make Sydney disappear? Don't have to actually kill him. We can just bring him back here and let Griffin have fun with him.
Griffin, can I give you an XP just for having an accent?
I'll take it.
All right, perfect. Let that be a lesson to the rest of you. I want to hear more cheesy accents.
Fine. You know what? I'm gonna work on my really bad. Fuck, what's his name? God damn it.
It's all right. So, I'm playing this out because I'm thinking, we're supposed to kind of jump right into the action once we identify a target and a type of plan, right?
Yeah, well, I think the large part of the problem is we're
Sean
still
Connery, I really got
coming
Sean
up with
Connery.
our type of plan.
Right.
As we're
So are we
waffling
doing
around
like a
between.
straight out assault, or what are we doing? That's what we need to decide.
Yeah, right
Exactly how
now,
we're getting to the guns.
we seem to be waffling around between, just
I'd say
busting their guns blazing.
assault or deception is what we're thinking. Because, like, I mean,
We're
if
trying
we,
to work with Baz to take out Sydney and take as many of the guns for ourselves as we can.
I mean, these guys are at war. That is also like, I hate to harp on that, but that is a weakness of theirs right now.
I
so
think
like, sorry.
what we do is we try to either spread rumors that the Red Sashes are going to attack somewhere else, or actually convince the Red Sashes to attack somewhere else. And
Yeah.
then we can just assault the place with whatever skeleton crew they leave on hand. James gets to punch shit. There's less people to cause a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
As long as we don't actually kill anybody, that'll.
I liked involving the red sashes personally.
Yeah, I would say if we can get the Red Sashes to go to, so we get the Red Sashes to attack somewhere else, we get the guns. If Baz isn't pissed that he lost a gun shipment, then we know for a fact that Sydney was going behind his back.
Yep. And we can act on that later.
Yeah, we can just maybe frame Sydney. Well, Sydney's gonna look bad if the guns go missing, regardless.
Assuming
We can just
Baz
act
knows
on that
about them.
later. The important thing is to not let any lampblacks know that we took the guns.
Well, who would be a good scapegoat for that?
Ulf.
Oh yeah.
Just walk in. Ulf sends his regards again.
Yeah.
I mean,
All
do the
fire
red
emblems.
sashes have any like distinctive? I mean, they all wear red sashes, right? Like,
When they're,
They're more of magenta tunic gentlemen.
when they're, what's it, dressed, loaded to bear, or whatever that is?
yeah.
Whatever the expression is.
So when we do our assault, why not try to get our hands on some red sashes and just like cover most of our faces with that, and then it looks like the Reds did it.
I mean, you guys are newish in town, but not that new anymore. So your faces are. I mean,
Not mine.
I mean, you could. I mean, it's not impossible to pull off. I'm just saying that you're no longer anonymous in Crow's Foot.
Yeah, but I mean, like, worst comes to worst, even if Red Sash should, like, these lamp blacks may not be Baz's lamp blacks, so like he might not give a shit.
Or during the chaos, maybe we just, say that Baz wants us to move the guns for him or something, and we just walk in and pick up the guns and walk out.
We could, but I really don't think that Baz knows about these guns.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, can I roll like I don't know if it'd be a consort or command or whatever to spread rumors about the Red Sashes attacking somewhere in the Lampblack's territory that is far away from this warehouse?
They would want it to be
Or-
close enough if they would pull men from this warehouse, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
Maybe actually give them discreetly drop some hints that there's this shipment of guns somewhere nearby to where it actually is. So they actually do go and attack.
that's true. I could do that as well. Yeah, would that be maybe a consort roll?
You mean you want the Red Sashes to actually try and get the guns for you?
No, we want to lie to them about where their guns are and have them actually attack, but the wrong place.
We want them to try and get the guns, but have the wrong information about where the guns are.
But we do want a Red Sash attack, is what we're saying.
So the warehouse next door.
I mean, preferably
Maybe-
like three
Maybe
down
the
to
next
the
block
left.
down.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yes, we would want them to.
So it sounds like a deception to me.
Yes.
Yep.
That is not the name of the skill. Oh, would that
Sway.
be like sway?
No, I'm talking about the type of plan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, probably a deception plan.
Okay. Are you going to involve any of your contacts in this?
Well, my only
mean-
contact is a blue coat. I don't really want to involve them.
Yeah.
I
Celine
have a
just shows
vicious
up.
thug if we want to do an assault. I can get Chael in this.
You want to bring Chael along?
I mean, at the very least, it's an extra pair of hands to carry out more guns.
This is true.
Once you consort with Chael.
Okay. Position controlled, I guess. 'cause
Yeah.
he's my standard effect. I'm gonna push myself because I don't have any in consort.
Or we could offer you a devil's bargain.
Well, someone can consort with you, so they could assist. And yeah, Devil's Bargain. You know that. Let's see. You might piss Chael off a little bit, but you know that he's got a weakness for a certain type. But well, you know he's got a weakness for Capathan, and you could promise him that as part of the payoff, well, like that as part of the score. But then you show up and you're like, oh, I guess there's none here.
Ooh.
So it would piss him off a little bit. but-
Actually,
Or-
I mean, if Griffin shares that information with us, we took extra crates of Capathan when we went on our smuggling
no,
run.
you sold it all though.
Oh, we
Or
sold it
we-
all? Okay, never mind.
Or we could have to give them a full share.
Oh, did you sell it all? Maybe you didn't sell it all.
I know for a fact that we got more than just the two innkeepers were asking for, but I don't know if we sold the extra or not, to be completely honest. I didn't think that we did, but I don't know for sure.
I think somebody would have marked it on the crew sheet if you had.
I mean, me and maybe Desmond. I mean, I'm not responsible enough to do that.
Right.
You remember Bleedy Arrow battle?
We'd go back to the tapes later.
Yeah.
But
Okay, yeah, never mind.
so
then, sorry.
the Devil's Bargain is do you risk pissing off Chael at the end of the score?
Nah.
Okay.
He's my brother.
Okay, so you can push yourself, and someone can assist if they want. Okay, well, but you got a 4, so that's good. I won't make you take any kind of consequence because it's a he's your buddy. So, all right. So you're bringing along extra muscle. It's good.
I don't believe I have
mean,
anyone
my,
who could help out with this.
Celine kind of shows up when I'm in trouble / when she wants, so I can't really like reliably call her in.
Okay. And what about does anybody have any way to get in contact with the Red Sashes?
I don't know. I could try and talk to Celia and see if she knows a good contact point. She's one of my friends.
Yeah. She's a frenemy of the crew.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actively trying to steal her stuff.
Yeah.
Downtime.
Okay. Do you want to consort with her?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll do that.
I mean, you could sway her. I don't know. Well, I mean, like,
No,
what do you
I'll try
picture?
consorting with her.
Okay.
Go out, have a.
My role is not to
Nice.
tell you what to roll. My role is to suggest if you are coming up short.
Yeah, I want to come up or, sit down with her in her office, have a nice chat. Ask her if she has any information she'd be willing to share about the Red Sashes.
Okay. So, Celia has a small parlor that she invites you into when you visit her at her. We'll say it's a brownstone in Brighthall or whatever it is, and she, is relaxing, smoking a bit of illicit substance, and says, "What interest do you have in the Red Sashes?"
Well, we go back a long way, so I suppose I can tell you. We've been looking to pass a little information off to them discreetly. Just a little bit of information they might find handy. Try and make some friends. Try and get things moving in the right direction for us at the same time.
Okay. Well,
Thank you.
it's a. You'll have to tell me a little bit more about what it is you're doing. I know you're not up to just your regular games.
Reston, think with the head on your shoulders, not in your pants.
Thank you, Nate.
Who's this Nate?
Crap, now I've forgotten what she said.
Sorry.
She said, "Well, you're not up to just your regular fun and games. It sounds like you've got something interesting planned. Tell me more."
Well, I can trust you, I think, Celia. We're trying to make a little bit of trouble for the Lamp Blacks, and we know they aren't exactly on great terms with each other. So I'm just looking for some discreet ears to whisper into, so they can try and get a little something out of them while we get a little something out of them.
All right, she tenses her fingers and leans forward. I'm going to offer you a devil's bargain. You can advance her scheme by telling her more, and then rolling, and then you get a bonus die to your consort with her.
Do I know anything about what this scheme entails?
No, this is out of character information, but this
Alright.
game I'm supposed to kind of be pretty open about, sort of the
Well,
machinations going on behind the scenes.
Well,
I think you're
if
probably aware that who is it? Thorn?
that she might
Yeah,
it's Thorn.
take advantage of this information for her own
Yeah,
devices.
you know that she doesn't like Thorn, and that she's a player, and so
Yeah.
things could turn at any moment.
Yeah,
But I
her
go-
scheme is probably trying to fuck me over. But
I go back a lot longer with her than I do with Thorn.
oh yeah,
so-
don't let that influence your decision. Go ahead and take the bargain if you want. I will not be offended.
All right, well, I will spill the juicy details to her.
Okay, and so just kind of giving just a brief glimpse into your inner workings, you're able to consort a little better with her, so that gives you a bonus die.
Is this controlled or?
Is this controlled? I mean, she's an information broker, so this could
could
be.
I bump it up to risky to get a stronger effect?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. Risky, but with great effect.
It's being a bit buggy.
Is it? If you click it in you,
It's
your
turned transparent and shrunk down.
sheet. I don't like it when that happens. Can you close it and then try again?
I just brought up a new one.
Yeah.
Risky, great effect, and 1 bonus die.
Yep.
Nice.
Look at that.
Hey.
So, you are a charmer, if nothing else. And if you got a critical, I would have taken away that advancing her scheme. But yeah, so
Close.
she says she listens to your scheme. You want to roleplay that a little?
All right. Well, we know that the Lamp Blacks, possibly a sub-faction of theirs, has a large shipment of guns that they've been trying to move to Ulf. And we don't like Ulf, so we want to screw him over, and if that means screwing over this little faction of the Lamp Blacks, we're quite willing to do that too.
He says, oh, and so the red sashes, by virtue of being the ones with the upper hand in this little war, are your pawns here.
Yes, and if all goes well, we'll make a nice payday out of it for ourselves too.
She grins at this and she says, I like what you're doing here. I personally, I think the Lamp Blacks are a plague on Crowsfoot. You want to talk to Utana Nargolia. She is a lieutenant that I have a little sway with. And that's her, like, saying, I've got something on her. And if you mention my name, she'll snap to attention. She's desperate to move up in the ranks, if you will. And she will gobble up this information if you feed it to her in the right way. Be subtle, don't dangle it out there.
Oh, I'll have to treat you to a nice dinner after this, if all goes well and according to plan.
She leans forward and touches your forearm. She says, "Oh, you'll owe me more than just dinner, but trust me, it'll be worth it."
Oh, I think our relationship has been very beneficial to both of us over the years.
She says, yes, well, what have you done for me lately?" And she laughs it off and takes another puff at her drug of choice. So I think I kind of want to fast forward here to an engagement roll, because I think you've got sort of your point of deception at this point, which is talking to Utana.
Did you just get bad touched by Cruella de Vil?
A man can dream.
So let's if you guys are comfortable with the plan and everything, I say we jump right to the engagement roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So I think this is pretty bold and daring. So I'll give you a bonus die for that. You're exploiting a vulnerability of the target because they're at war.
hmm
So I'll give you a bonus die for that. And you've got a friend who is providing insight into the operation. So I'll give you a bonus die for that. I think.
Don't we have another friend coming along as muscle?
Yeah, but I think that's more an sort of an in situ kind of bonus.
I'm gonna be using him as like a cohort, right?
Yeah, a little bit. We'll say he's an expert at skirmish for purposes of cohortness.
Hey, I'm the expert. He's just my apprentice.
Well, nobody's as expert as Griffin, but
Man knows how to punch things.
okay. So
Takes the blocks off like nobody else.
all right. So we'll fast forward to a meeting with Utana, as I think sort of what we want to do with our engagement role, because this is a deception plan, and the deceit is that you're getting the Red Sashes to move in on this warehouse, and probably as soon as they get the information, plans are in motion. So,
Yes.
Cricket, do you want to make a fortune roll for us?
Oh boy.
We got 3 dice, right, for a fortune roll?
Well, so
Yeah, he
you
got
get
the
one
three.
die for luck, and then 3 die on top
Oh,
of that.
wow. So 4 dice. Come on, 4 6s.
Ah,
Come on, all ones.
I do like the idea that Griffin's desire to punch things is so powerful that it actually affects the cosmic entity of luck.
Okay. So the lot of you descend upon Utana, who is in an inn with a large pub at the bottom of it. We'll call it the Leaking Leviathan, and it's not far from their academy of swordplay. And Utana's, kind of easy to get an audience with. She's just a lieutenant, and she's got a command of a small gang of red sashes, and they all have blades to their name. And she's got things arrayed across the table, sort of like they're about to play a game, but you guys aren't really familiar with the Ruvian custom, so it all looks a little alien to you. And you're sitting down, and she leans forward and she says, "Canal Street couriers. Why would I trust a shifty lot like you? Any of the information spilling from your lips, I'm sure, is just pure drivel." And she's got a few intimidating-looking Eruvians around her, with red sashes across their waists, and some decent-looking swords at their hips that they're gently tapping the pommels of.
Celia said you were a shrewd sort, sure to move up in your company. Good to see that you're cautious, at least.
She glances to her compatriots and then looks back to you, and she says, "That's shrewd. Is that how she describes me? I would have thought she thought a little bit less of me." Seems a little bitter at the mention of Celia.
Uh, Celia doesn't associate with those that she thinks are incompetent. Just because she doesn't like you doesn't mean she thinks you're unworthy of being trusted.
You think maybe Celia pointed you in the right direction, but the relationship isn't quite as warm as she led you to believe.
Well, that's delightful. So who all is here with me?
I'd say the whole crew, if unless people have reason to be otherwise.
I
That'd
mean,
be good,
my
'cause-
only
Probably
like,
there.
yeah.
I mean, this is supposed to be a friendly meeting, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not the leader of the gang or anything.
No, but if she needs to think so.
Guys,
I mean,
I don't need to see it, but select your loadouts for the engagement.
Already way ahead of you.
Alright.
Yeah.
Wait. Is
Gonna
that
go-
we just select our load, or do we have to select the
Yeah, just the
equipment?
load.
Just
no,
the
the
load.
equipment you select during. Where you're like, I'm gonna get this out or use this.
I'm gonna go light.
Yeah, equipment is like flashback-ish in that you don't have to select it at the time of you select your load. You select
That's
it
what
when
I
you
thought.
use it.
Well, we're just here trying to make friends and a little money at the same time. Let's be honest. But
She leans forward on her elbows, and she's got a veil across her face, but her eyes are sharp. She looks at you and says, "Well, you're here. What is it you four are really looking for?"
well, there were a couple of warehouses where the lampblacks happen to be moving some contraband through right now. Just sitting there waiting right for the taking. And going in and trying to take it on our own. You know, we aren't the most numerous ones, but if a couple of their warehouses were assaulted at the same time, well, we could both get the upper hand in our engagements.
So, how are you trying to change her opinion? I guess. Thorn, are you contributing here at all?
Well, I have a bad rep with Sally. It's kind of, if we're trying to use that hook, I'm just for the most part keeping my mouth shut for now.
Yeah, but you don't have a bad rep with Utana,
Sure.
who apparently doesn't like Salia. So,
That's true.
I hate to say it, but it's probably sway, which I'm not great at.
I'll assist.
Neither am I, but I'll assist you in it if you want.
we've got
I get
two
two
thorns that
free
I'd
aren't,
always
for
take
school.
more stress.
we've got two thorns that aren't great at persuading people.
Well, I can sort and command.
Two
I
spiders.
don't. Command doesn't seem quite the right use here.
Okay, so maybe it's a group sway.
Yeah,
I'd be fine with that.
sure. Do you want to lead this way, or do you want me to lead this way?
You should lead this way. I've
Alright,
been
I'll take
rolling
this
a couple times.
Well, okay, so you're gonna take the stress for every failure.
way. No, since I
I
have
forgot
zero,
that was part of it.
since I have 0, I rolled 2d6 and dropped the highest. Do I only count the one that's kept as a failure if it's a fail?
Yeah, you drop the highest, and the one that's kept is
So that's the only one that counts against me for taking stress.
well for yourself.
Like if I
but
roll
also,
a 3 and a 2, I get a 2. Do I get 1 stress or 2 stress?
no. So if you roll a 3 and a 2, it's one failure. If you
Okay.
roll a 6 and a 2, that's still one failure.
Yeah, gotcha. I just wanted to make sure if I failed twice, I wasn't going to take 2 stress, just because.
Right.
It's
Oh, I see what you're saying. No,
one
so-
roll.
the rolls in this, the only time that you look at more than one die is if you roll a critical, which is
Gotcha.
2 or more 6s.
Okay.
But everything else, it's either the lowest die if you have 0 dice, or the highest die if you have any other dice.
I just realized I've been muted. I'm gonna assist with this group, so I
Okay.
was really confused why.
Well, I think you can participate. You can't assist.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be.
Yeah,
swaying
anybody
with
who
you.
wants to, who's there, can roll sway
Yeah.
as well.
So
Okay.
we all roll a sway, and as long as one of us succeeds.
We basically count the highest roll that all of us collectively get, but whoever's the leader, which will be me in this case, take the stress for each failure we roll.
All right. So if, for example, I rolled a 6 and a 2, it would be a success, or a 5 and a 2 would be a success, and he wouldn't count that as a failure on his end.
You have 0 in sway or 1 in sway, or 2 in sway.
I have 1.
So you roll 1 die. So that's the result.
There's some more stress for you.
Okay.
Same.
All right.
There's
Okay,
some
cool.
more stress for you.
I'm gonna take 4 stress. It looks like.
Looks like.
Thorny
Stress.
collapses of a heart attack.
All right. So
That looks like 3.
the way I see this playing out is you guys kind of divide and conquer on her crew. Like she's got a couple trusted advisors, and you guys are trying to buy drinks for people, and you're just getting rebuffed at every turn. You're trying to convince them that, hey, this is a good deal. You're spending a significant amount of time, and more than a few slugs buying drinks, and they're just all not buying what you're doing.
Wow.
And so I think what I'm gonna do is um, we'll track Utana's patience for this, and so that this clock that I like to
Could
fill
I
up.
roll to resist?
You can roll to resist, yes.
All right.
Wait, you didn't lead it though.
Oh, that's true.
I'll let you roll to resist because this is kind of your deal. So
Okay.
I was kind of picturing it as, since me and James rolled so low that we were like dividing and conquering. We were each kind of sizing up like one of our bodyguards, and maybe that was not taken so well.
Hey, I rolled well, just I had 0 dice, so I had to take the bad one.
Same.
So I roll resolve to try and resist that, or
yes, this would be a resolve resistance. Oh, all right. So narrate it for me. What do you do to save face after everybody's kind of like spilled drinks on each other and like people are eyeing each other, about to like throw punches at each other?
ooh, that's a tough one.
You could maybe
well.
make an overture and say, look, this was obviously not well planned, and I apologize. This is my fault. Own up to it, and then maybe say, really, we're just, we really want to work well with the Red Sashes, and we really want to see that, the Red Sashes succeed and that you succeed, and and if you guys succeed, then we succeed, and everybody, makes nice.
That's true.
Hey guys, love you. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, we really need to look. We probably can't do this without you, and it's a good opportunity for you to make a bit more of a name for yourself. I was thinking, and, wasn't great or wasn't excellently organized. I didn't realize that this was you were on such rough terms with Celia when I came in. That she does have a way of rubbing people the wrong way. And I'd really like to start over and try this again, because I don't think either of us needs any more enemies here in a city like this.
So are you kind of queuing up Thorn to be like, hey, jump in here. I need a little assistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, we're just trying to back a winner here, and the Lampblacks are clearly losing this war. So we figured we'd try to help out the winning side. You know.
Okay. So, what are you going to do next to try and sway her?
Hmm.
Or it's not sway, but well, sway, whatever.
Convince.
Convince.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, my two really social skills are consort and command.
I don't know. Maybe this is a
I'm only good at commanding. I'm not a social person.
maybe this is a good opportunity for Griffin to wet his fists a little bit.
I could try to just command and be like, I thought we were backing a winner here, but clearly this is the wrong place for us. And just kind of be cajoling and condescending and call that command.
So let me
I
let
can
me
threaten to start pulling some teeth out.
let me pause here.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing this fine, and I want to say that this is a difficult setup, and you guys had an okay engagement roll, but not the greatest, right? I think what could really what the way the game is supposed to function is you're supposed to think about, okay, what are my characters like? What's the character going to do, right? And what actions do I want to take, and then let that lead into a mechanics roll, rather than
Yeah.
say what mechanics am I great at? Do I want, how does that lead into
Well, I think like kind of
an action
like
that I
what we
want
were.
to take?
Well, I
Yeah.
was just mentioning that because my character's just not a social person. Like
Yeah.
he wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, me and
Like
James
all I would
can-
do would be intimidating. That's literally all. That's what
Well,
I'm
I mean-
thinking of doing, but
Yeah,
I'm
no,
trying not to take the
Thorn-
lead here because you guys want to do something other than assault.
Well, I mean, if Thorn is kind of like, oh well,
He's
we
sort
came
of
to the
getting
wrong spot
fed
and
up
like
with
jeer
this
at her. Yeah, like me and James can each kind of do the same with maybe one of her bodyguards and just kind of like I mean, if this is the help that she's going to give us, then we're better off on our own. This help isn't it's not worth our
I sort
time.
of want to draw upon my snobby noble attitude and just kind of act condescending and cajoling and try to almost shame them into working for us, or not
Yeah.
working for us, but acting on our information.
okay.
I
So
mean, in my
it's a turn of the
I might have a
conversation.
bit of dribble out of my mouth, but we're better than you.
yes, in my previous line of work, I worked with a lot of criminals anyway, and it was always the bold ones who made a name for themselves.
And so it sounds like this is a soft play at command.
Yeah, basically.
Is it a group action or are we all rolling individually?
It sounds like you're all like contributing at this point.
Yeah, I'm trying to assist.
Probably group, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So who's leading it?
I'll lead it again. I'll take the lead.
Dude, you're gonna get so
Well,
much
get-
stress.
I'll
Yeah,
go for it.
I think you all are better at command than you are at sway. So
Oh, dude, yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah.
Is this risky or desperate?
I'm equal.
we'll say this is. Is this risky or desperate?
Oh, we already failed
Well,
once.
yeah, but you resisted the consequences. So we'll say it's risky.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I push myself?
6.
I don't believe you can push yourself in a group situation.
6.
Okay, so we got one
Ah.
failure. So that's
Yeah.
one stress.
That would be me.
Just the leader.
And we've got complete success at this. So
Good.
you
2
guys.
6s, sweet.
So the way I'm picturing this is you guys throw your weight around a little bit. You say, hey, look, we came to you with this opportunity. If you don't want to take the opportunity, that's on you. And like the guys who aren't like so good with words are more like, look, we don't need this shit. We can walk at any moment. And so
Right, we
The
were
net
just
effect-
offering them an opportunity to wet their whistle as well.
the net effect is like the guys a step down from Utana are like giving her looks like, hey, this is getting out of hand.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
Utana,
I mean, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say that. I mean, if Harrier's kind of been like squaring off one of the bodyguards, he just kind of looks at him and shakes his head and says, if this is the kind of muscle that we're going to be getting, I thought it'd make our lives easier. Could have finished this fool off 5 different ways by now. Babysitting during a battle makes things harder, and it's not something I'm interested in doing. I'm just kind of like gets ready to pack up.
Perfect veiled threat. I love it. Griffin, do you want to contribute to this?
Um, what would I say?
I can come back to you. Thorn.
Trying to think of what I'll say.
Well, I was under the impression that you guys were professionals. That's why we came to you first. But clearly, if you don't think you can handle it, I guess we'll try to find somebody else.
Okay. Cricket.
Yes. I mean, it's a good opportunity for all of us to profit, but... Oh, oops.
Maybe you could name one of their the other lieutenants. Sean is probably
But if you're too
interested.
weak-willed to do so, then Celia didn't give me only your name.
Good knowing you guys are a bunch of yellow bellies. You'll see me again. Won't be so friendly.
All right. So, John's like, no, wait, no, please. I understand. I get it. This is. I just have to be cautious. You mentioned Celia, and she is. Well, she's a difficult person sometimes.
I think the word you're looking for is asshole.
Mm. And she mulls this over. She says, "Well, maybe wrong orifice, but I understand where you're going." And she orders a round of drinks and says, "Come sit. Let's talk this over." And then we'll maybe pan out to you guys sitting down and talking over the specifics of the plan. And then fast forward a few scant hours, and we'll see a shot maybe of the Red Sashes walking in force. It's Utana. It's a friend of Utana's, and their crew. So there's a good allotment of them, and they're descending on the wrong block in the docks. But they're coming in force, and they're coming with their swords drawn, and shit's going down.
Did we actually manage to send them to a place that would have something in the way of loot to satisfy them?
Well,
I mean, chances are any warehouse that we send them to is going to have something if it's under Lamplight control, but it's not what we told them.
it's a good point. Well, did you tell them about the weapons? I don't know that you did.
No,
We
we
told
did
them there
not.
was
Oh, no, we
something
just said
worthwhile.
contraband.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did we put in some footwork to find another warehouse that would have something at least in it?
That sounds like flashback.
Sounds like a flashback. Somebody wants to spend some stress to scope out another warehouse that might work.
I'll do it.
Okay. What do you? How
Is
are
that
you
just one stress for a flashback, or?
for this kind of flashback? Yes.
I'll be right back. Okay.
And do you have a method that you're applying to this?
I was hoping to have Chael, send Chael out to do it.
Send Chael out. Okay.
He's got more connections than me currently.
Okay. We'll give him. Well, we'll see how this goes. Chael comes back and says he found something that he's pretty sure that there's a shipment of, shall we say, the devil's cabbage coming in, and that he's pretty sure that that'll be a good distance from the warehouse that you intend to hit.
Okay, and you didn't try to take any, did you? Don't lie to me, little shit.
He just gives you a knowing grin, and then
Okay.
we'll call that the end of that encounter. All right, so yeah, you guys have been. I'm tempted to make another engagement roll because that was kind of a setup to this engagement.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Okay, so it's still a bold plan. You are hitting them where they're vulnerable, particularly since you're leveraging the red sashes to do that. We'll call it a 3-die engagement roll. Well, we'll call it 4 dice, like you had last time.
Yay.
Who'd like to roll?
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Oh, thank God.
That's what I like to see.
Yep. So you guys are. I mean, it is like clockwork. You see the lampblacks move away. There's a number of dock hands that go with them. There's a skeleton crew guarding the guns. You guess there's 4. You observe and sort of guess that there's 4, and you even find that there's a back door to the warehouse where you could move in. That's aside from like the big open portals to the warehouse. And so we'll open on somebody trying to open that lock. So who would probably be the lock picker of the group? You guys don't have a lurk. So
I mean, I have a gun.
does anybody?
I could wreck the thing, try and blow the lock.
Perfect. All right. So you're set up to kick the door in, if you want to wreck it, and then you'd get the jump on them. All of you have your guns drawn. Those that have guns, you might have knives drawn that you're going to throw into their faces as soon as they show their ugly mugs.
I have my
And maybe one of you is or a couple of you are split off onto the other side of the open portal, where once you hear the noise of the door getting kicked in, you're gonna pop in behind them and totally destroy them. So
Yeah,
Right.
Sure.
I'd say I'd be behind him, like with someone ready to come in.
okay, so let's see the wreck.
Controlled, risky.
It's controlled. Is it controlled? Yes, it's controlled.
Okay.
And we'll go with great effect because it's a rickety door.
Yeah.
Well, Q6 is the splinters kill someone.
So the door just flies apart, and there stands Griffin and Harrier, while Cricket and Thorn have moved around behind them. And so, what comes next? They're like drawing their swords, or they're drawing their pistols. One of them's got a sword. Cocking back the hammer.
I shoot the whichever closest one with the pistol.
All right.
I
Harrier.
shoot the guy with the pistol with my rifle.
Did everybody else bring pistols?
I'll say
I brought a blunderbuss.
I did not.
I was gonna say hello to my little friend, but since you're asking already.
Okay. So, Harrier, do you want to lead a group hunt action?
Sure.
Do you want your pet included in this?
No, because I don't want. Actually, you know what? Yeah.
Okay.
Chael brought a pistol.
Jailbird pistol. Okay. So group hunt. Griffin, you
not
can roll for
gonna
Jail. He's got a
Take
1.
part in that. I don't shoot guys.
Okay. He's got a 1. Thorn, you can take part in that.
Is this risky, desperate, controlled, desperate, risky.
This is, we'll say risky.
Okay.
Well, Chael failed.
And I get a bonus die. Effect great, since it's like an ambush.
Yes.
Okay, I get a bonus die for Nyx being there.
Does everyone get a bonus die on their roll?
Rolled a 5.
I don't think so.
Oh man, the 0
I got a
dice are
4.
killing me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, marking the stress.
Thorn. Look at that.
That's
Um,
a shame. I actually have a die in hunt too.
Why didn't you join?
Why would you want to use that though? So Chael is with the 2 spiders and he misses. Harrier pops in with his rifle, hits one dude in the chest, who stumbles back and is gripping his chest.
Can I? Sorry.
Thorn pops around with his blunderbuss and hits a couple guys with the grape shot that comes out of it, and they're both clutching various pieces of themselves.
I just had a pistol. James had the blunderbuss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Getting the J's confused again.
Sorry, man. Sorry. And
While they're doing this, can I go in through the front door?
yeah, I mean, was there something that you wanted to do?
No, I just want to try and
Stroll in.
go in unnoticed while they're having it out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure. And so but there is some consequence. So, one of them, kind of falls down to the side and gets a shot off. Well, actually, one of them is uninjured and manages to get a shot off at who do we want to injure here? We'll say Harrier.
Okay, so
So you get a let's see, you were in a risky position, but it wasn't that risky. You were the ambushers. So yeah, you take a level 1 harm. So you get winged.
okay.
Maybe winged your shoulder.
Which,
I don't know.
which I still like note, but I have the penalties from harms are 1 level less severe.
Okay.
So it says still mark it, but it's considered like a level 0 harm.
Yeah, that's because if you get say 3 level 1s, the third one
Yeah.
counts as a level 2. I went in easy on you, and I shouldn't have.
No, it's fine.
No, it's not fine.
That's good. Dude, you threw Cthulhu at me last session, okay? It's fine.
I know. All right. So they're all spinning around, trying to regroup, ducking down behind crates and various other things. One of them's got a crate of what? He's hidden behind a barrel of what looks like gunpowder.
Can I come up behind him and try and chloroform him?
That sounds like a prowl. Sure.
I'm gonna push myself.
Chloroform
for this.
him or stab him? Do you have chloroform?
Would that be an unusual weapon?
As the spider, you can have the vial of slumber essence.
That's the same thing. Sure.
Alright, sure.
Spread that on a handkerchief and
Yep.
put that on his. Okay. So yeah.
I'm gonna push myself.
Okay.
Risky?
Anybody see him doing this and wanna assist?
Oh, I don't want to assist, help him. Like, I wanted to take out some more. So I guess I wouldn't
Yeah,
be
I can-
assist
Wait,
taking
do
out
we-
that one guy.
I'll
Can we-
assist. I'm not entirely sure how I assist. I guess maybe just try to be extra distracting so he's not looking that way.
Yeah.
I have,
What do you shout?
yeah, 2 free assists per score.
All fire and born senses regards.
I love that it's become a meme for our group.
What do you shout?
All Wolf Ironborn sends it to guards.
Okay.
The calling card of the Canal Street Couriers.
Even if they patently know that is not
Oh,
what's
Matt,
going
you
on.
don't think that I'm going to say that to Ulf when I shoot him in the mouth? You are very wrong.
Okay. So Thorn, take the stress. You get a bonus die. I can't think of a devil's bargain, so go right
I'm
ahead.
pushing myself too.
Ulf shows up
Is
and is
this
like, "This is
risky
slander."
or
Yeah,
desperate?
yeah, it's risky.
All right,
But yes, risky.
standard effect.
Nice.
Oh yeah. So I mean, you prowl right up behind him, wrap your hand around his mouth, and he like twitches and like he's about to turn around, and then he's like face down on the ground. And the other two don't even notice. The other two that are still like able to move. But you
Do
took
we,
out the one that was behind the barrel of gunpowder.
Sure, it's all right. Just go to sleep.
No
All
tips.
right. Griffin, what are you
It
doing?
was-
Griffin.
Okay. I want to run up to them, pull out my throwing knives, and take down as many as I can. I get 6 throwing knives, so if I can try and hit everyone with one.
All right. So you're spinning around, and so throwing knives. Is that hunt or is that skirmish?
I think if it's closer, like I think that one is considered a skirmish
Oh,
it's
I'll
like-
allow skirmish for that. Sure.
because it's relatively close range. And hunt specifically mentions firearms.
Anybody assisting?
Yeah, I'll assist.
How are you doing that?
As he's like running in, if I'm kind of like I'll give him covering fire.
Okay.
If any like as he's like kind of lining up his shots, if anybody seems like they're gonna get a hit in before he has a chance to address them, I take a shot at him.
Okay. So mark your stress for that.
Yep.
Okay, so position. Risky?
Risky, and we'll go standard.
Okay, I'm pushing myself to get +1 effect.
Okay.
Then I get a bonus die from the assist, right?
Right.
Oh, thank God. Thank you for the bonus die.
Okay.
It's like he's like coming in behind you with his sword in both hands, just up above you, and then all of a sudden, just boom, like right over your shoulder, and he just thunk.
And then the other one moves, and you get your throwing knife out. There's only 2 of them left, and like he lurches at you, and he's got his blade out, and he's about to swing down on you. He's too close to use the throwing knife for its intended use, so you just stab him in the neck, and he brings the sword down at your side and comes at you, inflicting a level 1 wound. Level 1 arm.
Can I
Also-
resist?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Prowess, and then no bonus dice, right? So you don't. don't
Yeah,
even
I
know
mean,
if you
unless
can
you're
get bonus
using-
dice for that.
Do you have armor?
Oh yeah,
You
you
can
get a
use that
bonus die for armor.
You can just it counts as a resist,
Oh okay.
so you can just mark that.
So there's one guy left, right, Matt?
No, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Griffin took him out. Well, with your assist, so technically you both took him out.
So,
Thank you.
are those other 2 guys dead or bleeding out?
It looks like 2. We'll say one of them is probably.
Then can we stabilize them so there aren't any actual corpses?
Oh, there's okay. So there's 4 total. You chloroformed 1.
I shot one at like in the chest, like straight up.
Yeah. You're pretty sure you could stabilize 2 at most. One of them's
Um,
definitely going to die.
Yeah.
I'm gonna also not to like be an ass, but my hunting companion does have savage as one of his flaws. I would say that one of the people that's like
Yes,
dead
that's
yet.
correct.
He's probably like you guys see Nick's, and he kind of like comes out of this cloud of like this inky smoke stuff, and he just leaps onto one of the guys and but he essentially rips his throat out, so he just gurgles out.
Right.
Ah, so much for leaving no bodies.
I mean, at this point, these guys have seen us. It's easier now to just pin the deaths on somebody else than, you know.
Yes.
Hey, so just on its side, a feature. So I mean, you've got these guys cleared out. So what? Never mind. Never mind what I was just saying. You've got these guys cleared out. You've got the Paralicious in the adjacent canal. I'm assuming you guys are just going to start moving boxes.
Yes.
I
Do we
I
know
can
which
take
boxes it is, or?
Yes.
I assume that yeah.
All right. Do you want to do a? Well, how do you want to do this?
Successfully and quickly?
Successfully and quickly.
I would say with no repercussions would be the way that I.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Uh, how much?
How many boxes are there?
Yeah, how much in the way of goods are we talking about?
The Paralicious is going to be low in the water by the time you get these boxes in there. We're talking like probably a dozen decent sized boxes.
What if not all of us took the Paralicious back?
And we made a lot of noise, so that might be trouble in.
You made a lot of
Moving stuff
noise,
down.
but there's also a lot of noise going down a couple blocks away. In fact, let's see how well the Red Sashes are doing. Looks like they're doing okay. We'll let them tick their eliminating Lamplack's clock.
Now, sure it'd be a shame if some of this gunpowder just wasn't stable and went off after we were done looting the place, and I mean the whole warehouse burned to the ground.
You see Harry, like already with a pistol, kind of aiming at it, and just goes, "Yeah, that would terrible shame that
Damn
unsupervised."
shame.
I mean, it's
unsupervised
dangerous to store
gunpowder.
this kind of stuff.
So it sounds like you're trying to wreck the place.
By shooting gunpowder. Because I don't have wreck, I have hunt.
Somebody has
will.
wreck.
I've got
Let's
wreck.
not be inside the place while we do this.
Yes, and let's get the merchandise out first.
Yeah, let's,
Wait, so all of the merchandise, or are you going to leave some behind?
I mean, some's got to blow up to, you know, be the fire.
I'd say we take as much as we can.
Yeah,
We'll leave as much as we need to start the fire going.
yeah.
Well,
We'll leave enough
your
to
interest isn't in the black powder. Your interest is in
The
the
guns
right
the
themselves.
the
firearms
guns
themselves.
themselves.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if you want to leave anything behind for people to see that there were guns here.
Yeah. I'd say 2 of the 12 crates.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Yeah, because I mean, then the question from Baz becomes, why the fuck were there guns in my warehouse?
Yeah.
Assuming he doesn't know, which I'm still personal, which Harrier is going off the assumption of.
Right.
Also, were any of these guys that we killed Sydney?
No.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
Are any of them still alive? Even if bleeding out.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
there's
not going to be
Well,
when we light
they're
the
going to
There's one.
die in the.
there's one that's
Fire.
still bleeding out, and there's one that's chloroformed.
Let's take them back.
Both of them.
See if we can find out where Sydney is. Just the chloroformed one. The other guy,
Sure.
he's gonna die. He's cool.
Okay.
We can have room in the boat.
Do we have time to interrogate him right now?
They'll be out for at least an hour.
You've got room for one more body on the boat, especially if you're leaving 2 crates behind.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. All right, we should start moving this stuff
Yeah,
sooner rather than later.
I have Nyx keep watch on one of the rooftops, like kind of like how we did on the boat, Matt.
I'm
Alright.
gonna tell Chael to take the guy.
Fair enough. And is he coming with you to the boat?
Um,
The guy or jail?
well, yeah, I mean, he's got to bring him to the boat. Chael doesn't have to get on the boat. I mean,
Right.
he's not even part of our thing technically, so.
Sure. Okay.
And can I have brought restraints under something like subterfuge supplies?
I mean,
In case it
I've
wakes
got
up.
free manacles and chain. I could just
Okay.
lock him up.
I'd like that.
Okay.
I have 4 bullets and he has 2 kneecaps, so like I really have an excess of.
Yeah, but those kneecaps will be good bargaining tools later on.
It's true.
All right. All right. So we can fast forward to the payoff. All right. Which I'm gonna say you don't necessarily have a good. Well, you probably have a fence. You have a fence that can move these weapons.
I mean, we could have all, not to use the same trick every session, but like, couldn't we have, even more so, like, done a flashback to get a sash that happened to be red and dropped it here? Like,
Um,
I mean, if we're blowing up the place,
yeah, it's true.
that sort of doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Do you still want me to roll wreck to blow it up?
Especially since all the people who did see enemies would have seen red sashes.
yeah. Let's see the wreck to blow it up. I want to hit that before we jump to the payoff.
Is that
Okay, I'm gonna-
another group roll or something we can assist with? Or...
I have no rec you don't want me assisting.
Nor do
I
I.
have one more free assist for this score, so I'll assist.
Okay. You go set up the black powder around this lantern I brought. I'm gonna reload my blunderbuss.
Could I use a study to try and set him up for a great result? To try and determine good weak spots in the building?
Sure. All right. Yeah, you spend some time studying the building, but one of the lampblacks is like running back to try and get more people, and he spots you.
That's not great.
Kill him.
Yeah. I'd like to try and resist
Do it.
that somehow.
How would you resist that?
I'm not really sure what tools I would have to do that with.
I mean, it's just you and him out there. You could talk to him.
Yeah. Are the rest of the people still inside?
Yeah, I mean, people are moving crates at this point.
I'm going to yell out, "Quick, come in here! We need another hand."
Are you trying to lure him inside?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not really resisting. That would be a
Uh.
command, perhaps,
All right.
or I don't know.
That's fine. Yeah, then I'll try and command him to get him inside where he can be dealt with.
Okay.
Believe in you.
I'm trying to decide if I should push myself again. Probably.
I mean, you can't have as much stress as I do right now, so go for it.
You could.
I'm one away from a trauma.
All right. So
if
you,
I'm one away from a trauma as well.
you
So
guys-
am I.
okay. So you've done a good job of reducing heat so far, but like, I will give you a bonus die if, as he was moving, assuming you succeed, you just came up behind him and like stabbed him in the throat, and then like left his body there.
I'd be all right with that.
That would cost you some heat.
Well, we're already going to go over to the next wanted level, so
Get him.
yeah, I'm going to do that.
Okay. So that gives you a bonus die.
Risky or
Uh, I'd say desperate. Okay. So you get him to move, and you come up right behind him, and he sees the knife flash, and you get it buried into his neck, but not before he's flailing around, pulling away from you, and he's got a knife, and he's about to bury it into your side, and so you get we'll call it a level 1 harm, because I'm going easy on you.
all right. How do I mark that down on here?
Under your harm table, just put it under one of the less effective
Underneath
boxes.
Yeah, just below stress. This
All
harm.
right.
Yeah, just
Is there
describe
something I click on, or do I type something?
No, you
in,
just
or-
type it.
describe the harm.
You just put knife wound if you don't want to be that descriptive.
Yeah, because that's pretty much all I got there.
Okay.
As far as, where did he stab me?
In the side.
So Harrier sees Prickett just like bring this guy in and just like stone cold stab him in the neck. Just like shakes his head and mumbles. You know, people assume my kind of bloodthirsty.
um,
People, I guess, not kind, because contrary to what Pity thinks, I am not another species.
you are a people.
I am a people. God damn it.
I don't have any problems with body. I just have problems with attention.
Okay. But yeah, you had a from your study roll, you say, okay, if you take out that support and that support, this whole thing's coming down. And so we'll say the roll for wreck is at great.
Don't
We'll call
forget
it
I
risky.
added that wreck, James, so you get that bonus die.
We'll call it risky. And I'll say if you want to guarantee that this goes off without a hitch, never mind. I don't have a good devil's bargain for that.
Well, before I wreck, I want to talk to Cricket for a second.
All right.
What happened out there? I heard some muffled screaming.
Yeah, got spotted while I was examining outside of the establishment.
Are you
I
hurt?
dealt with it. I kind of wipe some blood off my hands on my shirt, which is already being bled out on by my knife wound.
These goddamn lap blacks. Let's do this. Clear out.
All right.
I'll be far away from here when you're done with it, friend.
The Paralysis is loaded to bear. All right, Griffin. Some of the we'll say that you were a little too effective with this, and you set fire to a neighboring building, which is going to add a heat to the crew sheet. So
Who's up for sending Angel to jail?
I'll mark the heat.
When she gets on, we'll just be like, hey, create a new character. You're in jail.
And then so there's a big explosion. The warehouse starts to come down, and everybody, including the Red Sashes, is a little aghast at what's going on. They are still fighting, like they don't call a truce because a building has exploded nearby.
I
But
wonder if
maybe
that's
some of them are
loud enough
peeling
for
off.
our friend Griffin.
I like the boom boom.
Maybe some of them are peeling off to investigate, and Griffin, is the last one running to the Paralysis, piling in, and you guys are able to drive off into the night with these guns. So
Sweet.
yes, um, these are guns that have been sort of dangled in front of you for a few sessions. So we'll say this is This is a big score. We'll call this 8 coin.
Oh wow.
And let's see. The lampblacks are 2 tiers higher than you, and so we'll call this 4 rep. So that puts you 3 over into the next one. Well, actually, you can't.
Doesn't it just cost 8 coin to advance the tier?
That's true.
So just spend the coin from this job.
You can just spend the coin from this job to advance. So
Yeah.
you guys now have a weak hold on tier 1.
Yeah.
So that upgrades everything pretty much. You dump all that coin that you got into sort of upgrading the Paralicious, making sure that she's more seaworthy. You spend it into hiding it a little more nicely. You upgrade your quarters a little bit. Get some new linens in there, and you guys are upgrading just the overall quality of your gear. Pretty much is what that means.
Sweet.
So you guys earned some good rep. You're higher tier now, and what that means is when you earn your Mark XP for crew advancement, you'll get even more coin in your stash.
Hooray.
Yes. So I'll say this is a 4 heat job. You're stealing illegal guns. You're pissing people off in doing so, and you manage to kill a bunch of people, as you do.
The building.
Yeah, so somebody's marked that already. So you get a wanted level, which is going to bleed over into entanglements. So
You have entanglements.
what's that?
When do we get the -1 heat for just passing through? Is that before or after entanglements?
I think it's after.
I think.
Yeah, because that's downtime. Downtime happens afterwards.
All right.
So I roll the number of dice equal to your wanted level. So now for your entanglements. So let's see, crew sheet. Here we go.
On something not bad.
3's a good roll for that. And you got a heat of 2 now.
Yep.
So it's the usual suspects. One player volunteers a friend or vice purveyor as the person most likely to be taken.
Chael, because he didn't go with us on the boat.
Okay. So Chael gets nabbed on his way out of the docks. Do you want to pay the bluecoats off, or do you want to risk heat or harm to Chael?
I don't want to do more heat onto us. How much to pay him off?
1 coin.
2 coin or 1 coin.
Ah, man.
Questioning
I
is
can't.
2 coin.
I'll cover you on it if you want.
If you could, because I only have 1 in my stash, and it's 2 from stash to get 1 coin. So I don't.
Oh,
the crew has 2 coins as well.
Oh,
yeah.
you just
and
take
I
one
think
from the crew.
Yeah, I think it'd be fair to take a crew coin to
Yeah.
pay off a crew.
Okay. So yeah, you pay him off, and the bluecoats give you a nod and a wink, and Chael walks free with just
I'm
a
like, oh,
just a
really?
black eye.
Again, guys? Yep.
Just a black eye. Okay. Well, you guys decide the downtime activity. I'm going to take a quick break and pour myself a drink.
I'm gonna take a quick break too then.
I'm not going to take a quick break.
I'm gonna take a quick break to pour my toilet a drink.
Nice, nice.
That's what I was thinking.
Thinking we're about to. We haven't done crew XP yet, but I think we're gonna advance a crew, like get an upgrade.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that because I was looking at what we get for the XP.
We're 2 away. So
Yeah, because we get an XP for. We definitely took somebody above our station and we
we
bolstered
acquired
our
new
rep.
contraband.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
So that's
we-
at
we-
least
we-
2.
Yeah. So
We-
what are we gonna?
I say, if when we do advance, if anyone has no other ideas, I say we start dumping into master.
Yeah,
What
I
does
mean
mastery get
the
us?
That lets us
we
go
can train
above
up to
3
level 4.
dice. Yeah, we can go up to 4 instead of just
Okay.
3.
I would maybe just since we've already gotten the other ones, dump 1 point into personal, so that way we get 2 crew advance or 2 playbook advancement also, just to have the whole set.
Okay, we could put that in there. I think you get 2 to dump, right, when you upgrade. So what if we do 1 personal and then 1 into mastery? Does that sound good?
I would be fine with that, yeah.
Yeah, that works for me.
Not just because I really. Again,
Let's hope to train person at this downtime anyway.
I'm gonna have to playbook advancement twice to level up again. Excuse me. If only you were here, Desmond, you might have been able to level up enough to shoot lightning out of your hands or whatever the fuck it is your class does. Yeah, wow. Dude, I'm about to level up again. Although, like, seriously, in that Cthulhu session, I'm like, we all got probably a full level just from like, because
God, I missed the best
no,
one.
literally every roll. I don't think that we had a roll that was not desperate.
That sucks, man. I
Yeah.
wish I would have been there because I probably would have leveled up for my 4th time
Yeah.
today. If I was in that last one.
Jeez.
And then like just for me, I did all of the ticks I did 2, which is 2 XP, which is the most you can get. So I'm started this session already like 3 overboard.
Best way to level up, man. You got to do a voice for your character.
Yeah, I'll work on a really bad Cajun or Sean Connery.
I don't know, Nate. Should you
Oh
be
my
marking
gosh.
that bottom one without a trauma?
Well, it's vice or traumas, but we haven't even done vice yet, so.
Yeah.
Oh no, not the bottom one. I have ignored the bottom one because I haven't dealt with it. I meant the
The other 3.
yeah. Like
Um,
we did a
hey,
bunch in pro.
So Nate, point of order for you. If you click on the gear in your sheet,
The gear in my
upper right portion of your sheet,
yes.
you can set the number of stress boxes you have.
Oh, Matt, you genius.
Because if you have an additional stress boxes, Nate's ability apparently gives him.
Yes, my the one that okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Holy shit! Yeah, because I'm getting because originally I was gonna get Survivor, but then I trained Nyx to be able to skirmish people by himself. But now I'm leveling up, so I'm gonna get Survivor.
Right.
And Matt, I have a question. Like,
Sure.
I didn't mark it for the other session. But like when it says struggling with my vice is dealing with the whole like family obligation thing. But like if I deal with the vice of the fact that like I'm Tycherosi and have demon blood, does that also count, or is it vice specifically for my obligation?
Tycherosi and Demon Blood would be expressing your heritage.
Oh, beliefs. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Issues would be either you overindulged and you're dealing with the fallout from that, or you, or I said like, hey, the house that you're tied to is calling it a favor, and it runs counter to what you're doing in this particular
Yeah.
score.
Okay. Yep. I got you.
Yeah. Which, as I get better at this, I will probably start introducing more and more of that stuff. But
Yeah, that's fine. I'm having a lot of fun. We actually finished this one pretty fast. Like
Matt,
did.
if I
We have
get the
a long time.
Ghost Fighter special ability, which spirit energy, demon energy, I gain potency in combat versus the supernatural, and I may grapple with demons to restrain and capture them. Would I be able to capture Pete Thulu if he ever showed up again?
Okay, Pete Thulu, like imagine Godzilla coming out and attacking a small ship. Like that's what it was.
Okay, true, but I can also, not to be trifled with, I can do something that verges on the superhuman.
Yeah, you know what? Why don't
Try to
we're gonna
I can try and capture Pete Thulu, and if we
We're
got
gonna
him
go
on our
out there and-
side,
Yep, it's true.
As far as capturing, that it would depend on scale. I think if you bought
we'd
the
have to have something that could even get him in the first place.
A
Right.
couple of boats with a lightning barrier set up so you could fence him in.
right.
several copies of Griffin to teamwork.
I'll just
wrestle.
manacle myself to him.
Right.
I don't know, man. I might save up for Tempest.
Maybe with a big assist from 13, you might be able to work it out.
And Harrier. Harrier's got some attunement.
Yep. So.
We'll have to see.
Yeah. So anybody need my input for downtime activities?
I think I know what I want to do.
Yeah, I already know what I'm gonna do.
For healing, none of you have. You don't have a.
Matt, I removed a level 1 arm because I had armor on, so I just took it off.
Okay. But for healing, you don't have a physiker.
Yeah, that's why we need to get Angel here so she can
Well,
special ability.
I think your crew is about to upgrade again. That is one thing you can buy is a cohort, which is an expert physiker
We could also spend downtime activity to find someone.
to recruit one.
Help heal.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, technically the person that doesn't like me is a physiker, but I could probably intimidate him into working.
I doubt
I
that.
don't like the
I don't
physical
really
either.
think that would work, but
I
you guys.
couldn't go to him and be like, how much do you enjoy breathing?
Yeah, and then we get shoddy work done on us.
Exactly. I don't trust those
And he get
You could always just tough it out. Take some stress to tough it out to heal.
Yeah, how do you deal with wounds? Like that knife wound in the side, does it actually need to spend downtime working on healing that? Or
So
Yeah.
recovery. So recovery is a clock, and
It's like right under the arm.
and so when you during downtime you can attempt recovery. The default mode for recovery is you spend a stress and you get 1 tick on that clock. When the clock is full, every injury you have goes down a level. The way to get around that is to go to a doctor, a physiker. And so you don't have one at the ready. That's not part of you don't have a cohort. Although you have marked enough XP to get the upgrade to get a cohort if you want. Otherwise, you have to spend a downtime activity to recruit the physiker, and then spend a downtime activity to actually leverage the physiker. And recruiting is dependent on your crew tier.
yeah,
The other thing, if you just try and tough it out and somehow roll 2 6s for a crit, you're healed.
And if you overindulge your vice and you decide to be absent for a few weeks, you come back fully healed.
So I guess we need to decide: do we want to get a doctor on payroll, or do we want to put a point into personal and mastery?
I'd rather stick with what we were originally going to do. We just need to get Angel in here because she can be a physiker if she levels up.
That's true.
And
If
then
that's
she just
the
rolls
direction
her
she wants to
tinker.
go.
Yeah, if she wants to. But
And why didn't she join us?
I know she's
internet,
still.
quote unquote.
Well, yeah, I mean, but she could join the voice chat on her data
Yeah.
and we can roll for her. Maybe she's still out. I don't know.
I mean, I think that's minus 1 XP for her and plus 3 XP for the rest of us.
Yeah,
you know.
think she got home because she said internet's still not working.
Yeah, but I told her she could join on her phone.
I mean, I think
Yeah,
that's
but she
bonus
might not
XP
want
for the
to
rest of
spend
us.
that much data.
Yeah. You can do it on your Wi-Fi. Oh yeah.
I could spend a rep to try and acquire a Physiker as a downtime activity. I get a bonus to result level when acquiring an asset.
There you go.
If the rest of you are alright with spending 1 rep on that.
Well, did you already spend a downtime activity?
I have not done any of mine yet.
Well, you get 2. So.
I know, but I want to reduce stress.
Okay.
And maybe something else.
So to acquire an expert cohort, you roll a cruise tier, and this indicates the quality of the asset you're using.
Yep.
Did someone advance our crew already? Because I thought we had more than 2 ticks.
Yeah.
I did. So you've got to determine what you want to spend your upgrade on.
We wanted 1 in personal and 1 in mastery. While you were getting your drink, we kind of decided.
Okay.
Everyone's still good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still good with that.
Sure.
You guys are all about the training.
Yeah.
Okay. So as far as okay, so if you're going to spend 1 rep, mark that on the sheet.
If you guys are alright with that, with
Yeah.
spending a
Go
rep to,
Well, if anyone else wants to heal, it's probably a good investment
yeah.
because that less effect carries over. I don't know if
It's
anybody
not
else.
very fun. I had to play a session where I had less effect on every single thing.
Yeah. Alright. So I roll the cruise tier. Indicates the quality of the asset.
And then your thing ups the result level.
hmm
Yep.
Cool.
And that'd be a fortune roll.
Yep.
It's
All right.
still a success because it ups the result level.
Well,
so
that
it's
Counts as like a 4.
It's a tier 1.
yep.
Tier 1 Physiker, which is, you know, the kind of doctor you want is the one that is washed up and maybe a little high while he's operating on you.
You could always share some of that.
Yep.
Reduce the pain a little bit.
He's like, no, this is good shit. I don't use that on my patients. All right.
It's still better than no Physiker.
So he's
True.
so that's 1 die. If you want to roll recover.
Alright.
Which is
Sure.
another fortune roll at 1.
Roll a 6.
That's not a 6.
That's 1 segment.
That-
But you managed to avoid incurring a stress mechanically. So
Hey, you're tied with me for how much healing you have, and I don't even have harm.
Alright. And I would also like to visit my vice purveyor, I think.
Okay. So roll your advice. There's an indulge button.
I see.
Mechanically, what that is. Man. Cricket, man. At least you're getting these all out of the way in your downtime.
I don't know. This is kind of hurting.
Do you have any coin?
You go on a really uncomfortable
I
day
do.
with that Cruella de Vil
Yeah, if
trick.
you spend a coin, you can.
You can attempt it again. So it's nice. I like it. So you go down 1 stress on that, but
Yeah, I think I'll spend a coin and do it again.
Okay. So, just for your own information, the roll you're making is the lowest of your attribute rolls.
Yep.
So you're making a prowess roll essentially.
Yeah.
When you roll indulge vice. So if that makes any difference for what you train next, um, or how you mark XP, that might help you with your vice roll next time.
That would
Hey,
help
better.
everyone but me, except I've got 2 that are at 1. So
yeah.
All
I
right.
think I have 4 in each.
So I need to go and see a shady man in a strange place and get myself a new haunted doll.
I was kind of hoping you were gonna roll a 6 on that second one.
Overindulge.
I kind of want, when you overindulge, I kind of want to take control and turn it into a mini score or something. Because haunted dolls are fucking freaky, man.
So, what kind of haunted doll do I get to add to my collection?
I'm picturing it's like in every way like a perfect little girl's doll. It's like pink and it's got frills and everything, but the face is like the face of a jackal.
Hmm. And what's your name, little girl?
Chicken pork and frog.
I mean, if the purveyor isn't even going to tell me her name, I don't know if she's a real haunted doll.
Her name is Celia. No.
Annabelle. Drawing real life parallels here.
Oh, you really want a name? You
Yes,
can. We will call her Roxbury.
Roxbury.
I'm kind of imagining a doll with the face of Harrier's pet.
That's perfect.
Well, they're his sweet little children, and he loves them very much.
Yeah.
It's a name for her.
What's the species of your pet called?
Like what?
Harrier.
Creepy as fuck.
Yeah. What's Nyrix or Nix or what? How do you say it?
Gresser. I call him like the nickname for him is Slipshades.
Slipshades. All right. Face of a slipshade on the body of a lovely princess. All right. Anyone else indulging their vice?
Yeah, I was gonna indulge.
Yeah, me as well.
Same.
I love you guys.
I can't overindulge, so
Yeah, neither can I.
You're just like, oh man, we gotta.
boom, a 6. That helps.
Griffin, what's your vice? Oh, you get your face
Oh.
pounded in.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah. So
I know
Griffin fights him.
early on, you said you wanted to maybe experiment with some negative side effects of that.
Yeah.
Maybe Phoebe doesn't like ugly men or men that have had their like faces beaten in.
Hey, I've got it.
I'm kind of wondering if you get a 6, maybe you should take a level 1 harm
I'll do it.
because like
I'm good at healing.
it feels so good, you can't stop. But man, are you fucking beat to shit? And you do have a physical at your disposal, so
Or that could be the sort of thing for overindulging, but
I'm gonna do broken nose for harm.
that's good.
Not like eyeball hanging out of socket.
Yeah, and when it comes to less effect, given the nature of the harm, I'm willing to kind of, when it comes to any of the harm, really, I'm kind of willing to hand wave it, just because it doesn't necessarily apply to all actions.
is that less effect on everything then, or just like?
Just what it would apply to, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna run slower because I have a broken thumb.
But your aim
would
might be a
imagine
little
you
off.
might.
Yeah, my aim might be a little off, but I mean like I
Yeah. But with a stab wound in the side, I might have trouble with running slower or running quickly.
Yeah.
Or doing most things.
Doing lots of physical activities, but I'll still be able to charm and
I think more
to
important,
people.
and I hate to harp on this, but more important is telling a good story. And if it's you being the
Yeah.
injured bastard on a crew of miscreants, then you're just going to be the injured bastard on a crew of miscreants, and maybe
Yes.
maybe taking support roles for most of you most of the session or something. So okay. Who's still got downtime to resolve here?
I do. I think my nose is broken. Where's that physical?
All right, you've got a level 1 physical at your disposal, so
Yeah.
make a
I pass by him as he's heading in there and go, good luck with that.
shaking your head like, oh my god, this guy.
He actually accidentally sews another nose on it instead of just fixing nose.
Fortune and 1 die because he's level 1.
Nice.
Hey, look at that, 2 segments on your recovery.
I'm almost
clock.
healed.
There you go. He's got the big white bandage over his nose.
Okay, and I'd like to spend 1 coin to. I can spend a coin to up that, right?
No,
Oh, wait, that doesn't go up.
that's if you're critical.
Oh yeah. Okay, so can I spend a coin and just try and heal again, since I'm just about healed?
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you have a coin to spend?
I mean, I've got 2 in my stash that relates to 1 coin, right?
Sure.
Yay.
Oh wait, I forgot to give you guys stash. You get 3 stash for the crew going up.
Oh, 3. Okay. Well then I've got 4 in stash, so I'll just
Same. Nice.
I'll spend all 4 to get 2 more. Things because I really wanted to train.
You really want
Yeah,
the
that's
coin?
broke.
She's just gonna be broke as fuck, and
I mean, it's not like
Griffin's not looking for a good retirement at this point.
Let's be honest. Are any of us sure that Griffin's going to make it to retirement?
Okay,
I'm not.
I'm gonna mark 3 stash in the players that aren't here right now. So hopefully that's. Let's see, Biddy's not here. Biddy, by the way, has 5 stash right now, so she's gone up to 8.
Wow.
I'm going to start imposing a racism tariff. She said I wasn't people. Literally to my face.
Hey, she calls it like she sees it.
I mean, on a scale of demon to people, you are the least far away from. You are the furthest from people of anyone in this
You
group.
did say you only had 4 feelings.
I didn't. I had
4 feely bits.
Yeah, feely bits left, and she stabbed me right in one of them. That's only like 3 feely bits.
So why are you so angry? You shouldn't have any feely bits.
Because she didn't stab
Yeah.
him in the anger
How do you-
feely bit.
Yeah. How do you feel? I do not.
Do we do XP as a group, or do we just try and be fair?
So I'm supposed to let you have free reign over your mark your XP thing. I think I gave one of you a desperate roll this past.
Yeah. It was,
I had one.
Yeah, so you
Wrestling.
should have marked XP for that on your.
I did.
Okay, good. And then for the session XP, you use your judgment. Just follow the instructions on your playbook.
Oh, maybe I should have let my stress tick over into trauma.
But you definitely, Cricket and Thorn, both of you, I would say, should probably mark 2 XP for your
Calculation and conspiracy.
calculation and conspiracy, because
Yeah, I did that one.
you guys are the spiders, and you did your spidering pretty well, I think, for this one, which is why the violence was not as extreme as some
Minimal.
of the other
I
scores.
mean, we killed 3 people, blew up a warehouse, and abducted 1 person and brought him back home.
Can we have a
I'm sorry.
habit of stealing
You
people?
killed the crew killed 3 people kind of collectively. Cricket, you killed an
We ins-
additional person.
Yeah. We incited violence that, probably killed
Yeah.
a dozen people.
Yeah.
Hey, I killed even more people because who knows if everyone got out of that second building? You know?
Right. There was a fire in the docks. Fire serious shit in Duskfall. Luckily, it was kind of a damp night, so.
Oh, I was hoping for rampant death.
Fire in the docks, war in Crowsfoot, spilling over into the docks. Um, so let's see. What
I
else?
think myself and Harry still have downtime left.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
go first. I'm still trying to decide how I want to do something.
I'm going to indulge for my first action. I'm going to go buy the tailor and buy a swanky suit.
Nice.
I get 3.
All right. So there you go. Thorn, you got to work on your attributes, buddy.
Yeah. Well,
Wait, I'm confused. What does that mean? Like,
That
I
means
don't.
We got one.
several sessions.
But you have one
Zero.
attribute that you have no points in.
Yeah, I have nothing in any prowess skills, but I have 2 in each of the others.
Holy crap.
That's amazing. I love it.
Yep. Okay, and then
Train
my other
prowess.
action, I'm
I mean,
going to.
You could remedy that tonight with the XP you get at end of session, probably. And
Train prowess.
Nah, I didn't get enough XP to level up my playbook.
Train prowess.
oh
man.
no, I'm sorry. So if you weren't familiar, any XP that you mark for the end of session XP
Can go wherever.
can go wherever. Yep.
The only XP that has to go in a certain spot is desperate rolls. Like a desperate finesse roll can't go into insight or
Gotcha.
playbook.
In that case, I think I will put. I think I marked off. I only had like 1 playbook before, so I had marked off like 3, 4. Okay, yeah, I think that'll get me a prowess with my tonight's XP. And then my second action, I'm going to continue my long-term project, which was take Salia's network.
Okay.
I'd like to continue to consort with her people and try to like convince them to come work for us instead.
Okay. I'm wondering if I should give you a modifier for this, given the session.
Yeah, maybe.
No, and I'm trying to figure out, should it be up or down?
A good question.
I'd say Griffin got a 6 when he was consorting with her. So that might put her at ease and therefore not on the defensive. But then again, he revealed a lot to her.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
do you think
that's why
it's
her clock went up.
yeah? So her clock went up. I'll let you. I'll give you a bonus die for that one.
Cool. Risky position?
This is a fortune roll.
Oh, okay.
It's fortune based on your. So I mean, you can just click the
Gotcha.
skill and just whatever for the other dice. For the position and the effect.
Fortune.
Well,
One bonus die.
I
It's
don't know if I'm ever gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna be alive long enough to gain Phoebe's favor.
I
So
don't
so
think it added the bonus die, but
so
it's
so.
fine.
What's your consort? Is it 1 or 2?
2.
So just roll 2d6 because it should be 3 dice.
5 was still the best.
5 is still the best. Okay. Yeah. So what I was saying was, you actually. So for advancing clocks, like in your off time, it's a fortune roll, but it's based on the skill. So you can just click the skill and whatever on the position and effect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
So how many segments does a 5 get me?
Is that 2 or 3? I think it's 2.
I think that's 2.
Cool. I have 1 segment to go. And yeah, that's my downtime.
Yeah, it's 2 ticks. Okay. Cool. Anybody else got downtime left, or want to spend
Yep.
coin or rep?
Me, I'm gonna indulge my vice first off.
Okay.
Nice. Down to 1. Second off, I am going to train my playbook to boost me up, to give me the extra stress box, clear that. So when I go to advance, since my vice is my obligation of my noble house, and I'm trying to figure out who it is that I'm even supposed to be in contact with, if I basically just wait for Celia to show up and like flag her down, like does she give me a lead to go on?
Mm,
That gives me 2 segments on my clock.
so I guess in so how I'm picturing this works out, and you can tell me if this works for you or not, is that if you're not actively like if you're indulging your vice, but you haven't actually made like serious contact with the people that you're supposed to be talking to in the city, I'm looking at it as like you're pursuing your obligation. You're spending a lot of time spinning your wheels though. Like maybe you know that this isn't like the right thing to be doing, but like you're doing research and like going to libraries that you wouldn't visit normally, and like
Okay.
like
Yeah.
it's it's fruitless, but you feel like you're being true to your calling.
Okay. Yeah. I can. Yeah, I would go along with that.
Um,
I
until
mean,
you
he's
actually make contact with your.
okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it does, and that's probably what he'd do. Because anyway, because like Harry has the feeling that Celine knows more than she's letting on, so he would just kind of try and he would spin his wheels basically until she was like, "Look, here's what you have to do,"
Right.
or like until he got something. Um,
So you think Celine is also is from your house?
um, yes, but Harrier doesn't know why. Like he doesn't know why he's so special that he would have like a guard, like somebody sent to protect him. So in his eyes, like she has to know more than he does about what's going on here.
Oh, I feel like there's room here for like her to be like you said she's kind of unreliable.
Just
I,
that she shows up when he's in trouble, but if he like calls from the rooftops, "Hey, Celine," like
she might like give him the middle finger and walk away.
yeah, like she's by no means at his beck and call, but like there's been multiple times, either like out in the Deadlands or like in the city, where he's like, you know, been up a creek without a paddle, and she's come through and she doesn't like, she seems totally fine with just helping him out for the sake of helping him. She hasn't asked for anything in return.
Yeah, but I feel like like maybe she's got some ulterior motive that is not necessarily in line with either you or your house's like best interests. Like she's keeping you alive for a reason. Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
yeah,
And so maybe like she's gonna backstab you one of these days just because like I don't know, maybe like she's trying to get in good with your house, or maybe she's like not not real pleased with your involvement in the house, but like she needs you to do something first.
yeah. Thinks he's jumping his position since he's not actually noble.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be cool with it.
Okay. So you're saying she's your purveyor?
I would guess. I mean, she's also my deadly like plus con. She's my deadly
Yeah,
friend. But
yeah, I know she's under your contact.
yeah, so I mean,
Um,
I guess she would be because he doesn't know anybody else. Like, he's
yeah,
not just gonna go to any Tycherosi person and be like, "So you in with the house?" or like what? Like,
yeah. So maybe she's just kind of a brick wall most of the time. She's like, I don't know, you're supposed to be here doing your own thing. And
yeah,
so she spends
she plays coy, like
yeah. So she sends you off to do like meaningless errands and stuff.
yeah, or straight up is just like, well, what's the fun in me telling you? Why don't
Yeah.
you find out on your own? Like annoying shit like that.
Okay. So under your vice, note her as your purveyor.
Okay. Also, I think I've been calling her Celia instead of Celine because Mustfire. That's fine.
Right. That's fine.
Okay, so that was my first one. For my second one, I'm gonna try and
So did you actually roll for your? Oh no.
my
So you rolled for your vice. Are you gonna actually roll for your
oh,
clock?
because since we said that the clock and the vice, I advanced the clock when I rolled the vice. I just used the 5 and advanced it 2 segments.
Uh, yeah. So no, I think they should be separate.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. So yeah, roll back the segments and like I said, it's spinning your wheels. It's nothing.
Yeah. So I guess
Just
hunt
doing you
is
any
just
good.
what I would roll.
Yeah. I mean, like you think maybe you're making progress, but you're actually not.
No, you've got a 5 anyway. Then I'm gonna try and tick my other.
So you're spending coin to do a third.
Yes. I'm gonna tick my my private goal clock The one that we talked about.
There's no secrets in Blades. Come on.
The kind of like unlocking the demonic part.
Yes.
Attune, I guess, was what I would roll for.
Do some meditation.
Yeah, you know, peeking into the boom, peeking into the demon field.
There you go.
Is it 6-3 or is it 6-4?
A 6 is 3.
6 is 3. Okay. And I think that is it for me. So I
believe
don't
it's 3.
think I need to spend another coin to really do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm gonna leave that fuck all clock at 7 out of 8.
Okay. Anybody else got something they want to do?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Um,
Yeah.
if this were another night, I would suggest actually starting another score. But I have like it's a real bitch when my work says we have 8 a.m. meetings because I've got
just
two
say,
two
yeah.
kids I've got to get off to daycare before 8 a.m.
Mm.
and so that falls on my shoulders. So I'm gonna get up extra early to make sure they are on their merry way. So I will call it an evening here. But
Put your
thank you,
foot
guys.
down, Matt, and veto that meeting.
You know, at 4:45 they sent an invite for a mandatory 8 a.m. meeting tomorrow. I was tempted to write back, "Fuck you," but I did not. So,
That's the way of things.
right. And I'm sure I will say like at most 2 or 3 sentences in this meeting, and that will be that. Nothing that couldn't be accomplished in an email, but oh
You
well.
sound like my dad. Nothing that. How was your meeting? Nothing couldn't be accomplished in an email.
But I understand. I understand people's need to come together in useless conference calls.
Oh, by the way, Matt, I will be around tomorrow night. It's actually Wednesday and Thursday that my girlfriend is coming up. I got the days wrong.
Okay, Rustin, you
So
around
I
tomorrow?
would be
I should
available.
be, barring unforeseen circumstances.
Okay, James.
I'm good for tomorrow.
Awesome. And we'll see if Desmond is around as well.
Ready for you to kill my bard.
Sorry, Justin, but you chose
No
not to take
problem.
me up on my offer.
Yeah, I can't do another game right now.
No, I get it. I was trying to make it seem as non-committal as possible to lure you in, but
Yeah, no,
I get it.
non-committal, but you have damned your Blaze character. So
Yep. No, say kiss Thorn goodbye. Sorry.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, so you know, kiss our regular D&D group characters goodbye, because we're totally gonna die next session.
Yeah, I don't know which one of you
You
is
can say
Gorbash.
that's in session
but-
one.
I don't know which one
I
of you
know,
is
but this
Gorbash. and
time
which
I
one isn't,
actually
but-
feel it. Okay, we are all out of like literally. The only thing we have to heal is I think I have 1 potion and maybe someone else has 1.
you guys get potions,
Yes.
Matt. What the fuck is this shit?
I know,
We've got magic in our settings. So
I've gotten
potions-
soft in my old
God
age.
Damn it, Matt.
You know, when you enter your 3rd millennia of being alive, you get a little soft.
May I suggest some friendly cannibalism to shore up your strength?
That's true. I mean, you know, you
Potions.
could cannibalize.
Okay.
I mean, you know, let's be honest. Magpie really wasn't pulling her weight, so
She's like half
How
an
many
hour. So
healing? How many d4s do they get to roll for healing if they eat magpie?
all the d4s, I think is
Do I get a rage back?
yes, absolutely.
Could I just get a wild shape back? That's really all I need.
A wild shape, a rage. You guys can have a kitchen sink, as far as I'm
I'm
concerned.
fine going into another fight if I have rage, because then my 11 hit points become 22 hit points. But
That's true.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna give you my healing potion because I've got the most HP right now. I'm pretty sure.
We'll just see if you guys survive the flaming skull resurrecting itself.
We won't. Does it have
No,
any
that's-
spell slots left? Because I know it doesn't regain any, but I don't know if it used it all because it's a level 5 spellcaster. And you only did a fireball and 2 magic missiles.
I guess we'll see.
You're still telling me that you guys don't even have stress levels.
tried to use shield a couple times. So
Hey, come
I
on.
did use all the spells.
The Sunless Citadel, you guys don't have stress boxes either.
Not yet. I'm sure you'll
No.
implement them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Or sanity, not stress. So
Oh,
I-
sanity. Yeah, that's coming after they clear Fandelver, which is still the
Oh,
starter
yeah.
box.
I'm ready for that. Gorvat's just gonna go crazy. Good
And
luck,
you have
those
another
will be
Desmond
real.
on your hands.
I mean, my 5e character does receive his power from dark forces.
That's true.
Are you a
I just
Satan
like that I
warlock?
can speak abyssal at people and scare them into